love how I can just like leave the meeting. Like it gives me the option to leave the meeting if you are
Yeah.
recording it.
If you ever need to, if this ever gets too hot, you can just dip out. Hello, everyone. Hello, viewers. Welcome to another installment of our Bigger Picture Show interview series, where we talk to local artists about their contribution to this year's Bigger Picture Show, a gallery-style poster show where Indie's best designers and illustrators reimagine classic film posters, all to benefit Indie Film Fest and sponsored, of course, by Lodge Design. Today, we're talking with Byron Elliott, who created a poster based on Inception. Welcome to the show, Byron.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to have you here this morning.
Happy to be
Uh,
here.
I'm excited to start talking about your poster, which I've been looking at for a while here. It's just so much to look at. Uh, let's just dive right in. My first question to you is, what about this particular movie intrigued you? Why did you want to do a poster based on Inception?
Inception is one of my favorite movies of all time. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just such an amazing movie. So many different layers. Literally, I mean, that's the whole concept of the movie.
Right.
Layers and levels and depth and things of that nature. I love the artistry. I love the experimentation. I love how like it's just a giant Rubik's cube of a movie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I love the art direction. Um, I love that movie a lot, and so
Oh, I love it too. It's one of my favorites.
oh yeah. I mean, so it was a no brainer. Like when I saw it on the list, I put it at the top of my list. Like I would have been okay with getting the other ones that I had written down, but that was the top of my list. I was like, please, if they love me, they will let me do this and give the middle finger to anybody else who wants it. So
Well, happy you got your first choice.
yes.
I mean, and it shows like this that you really do like this movie, because like that's one thing that I immediately recognized when I saw it was how this is like a visual interpretation of the different dream levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So like speaking about of that, is that like what were you trying to capture in your final design? What was your goal to capture at the end of this?
I wanted it to be I wanted to give nesting doll vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
the whole dream within a dream, you don't actually like there's no like standing back and looking at the bigger picture of what's happening visually when it comes to the dream world. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, I kind of wanted to do essentially like almost like a diagram or something of the depth of each layer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and I like the this it's a very visually stunning movie, very trippy imagery and everything, and I like how you incorporated that into the symmetricalness of it all. There's
Yeah.
like four-way symmetry.
Yeah, that I mean, and so yeah, so and also like this, I wanted to put like almost like a kaleidoscope type effect to it too,
Yeah.
like the trippiness of like a kaleidoscope as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
uh,
yeah, I see that.
I think like trippiness is like that's like almost a perfect way to describe the movie. So I guess I wanted to show how I felt when watching the movie, or how I see the movie when I'm watching
Yeah.
it. I mean.
Yeah, I got that feeling looking at it. Remembering like that almost like dizzy almost feeling where things are going all upside down. There's the fight scene in the hallway. There's that part where the whole city comes crashing over like a wave, and
Yeah.
it all came flooding back when I saw this, and it reminded me of those feelings in like sitting in
Yeah.
the theater.
I just recently watched it probably for the 15th time here, maybe a couple weeks ago. And I was thinking about how like they did a really good job of like strategizing even how the movie structure went. Like I would say like the first fourth of the movie is exposition heavy, right? They're like explaining all the rules and explaining
it all out.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, and once they do that, then the rest of the movie is just being the story. And so without the context of that exposition dump at the beginning, you would really be lost. You really would. I mean, even like the different concepts of like almost like relativity with each layer has like a different time frame and the whole kick.
Exactly.
And the
right.
No, it was great.
So how did you go about making this? Did you strategize this? Like, what was your plan going into it, and like what program did you use?
I used Procreate to illustrate the initial thing, and then I brought it into Photoshop to kind of mess around with layers and textures and things of that nature. Because at this point, you know, the file was so big in Procreate that anything else I tried to do, like my iPad would just get really hot. And so,
sure. I bet it did. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, what are you doing to me? I think I did do a lot of strategy. I knew that I wanted to do something that I thought, first of all, paid a good homage to the movie itself. And second of all, something that like was so visually interesting and something that somebody would be proud to hang up on their wall. You know what I mean? I know like I've been going to these things for a while, and you know, there's like different styles of things that happen at these things. Sometimes people go really, you know, simplistic and minimalist, and sometimes people just kind of, you know, phone it into what they usually do. I wanted to take this as an opportunity to just make something that I felt like was visually outlandish and really pushed me, but at the same time keeping time. Time is a factor. So, you know, these sets, they're very detailed. You know what I mean? Like these are whole like landscape. Like, you know, you got the snow one, and you've got the, you know,
I love the detail in the snow one here.
Yeah, and you've got when they're in limbo or whatever the nucleus.
That's right.
Is, and you know, and there's like there's the hotel scene, and then there's the super rainy city. You know, like those are very detailed things, very detailed environments. And honestly, like I personally don't usually do a whole lot of backgrounds. Like whenever I'm illustrating or designing, like I don't usually do a whole lot of backgrounds. I'm usually focusing on the character or something like that. And so even more so, like I really, really, really had to, like this was a huge challenge for me, and I'm very proud of how it came down and all the time that I did.
Good.
Put into it, you know. Did I answer your question? I feel like I'm rambling now.
Did you want to ask me a question?
No, I just wanted to make sure I answered your question.
Oh no, you did. I was
talking.
I was going to ask, like, so like you sort of stepped out of your comfort zone for this, you'd say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like the last few that I did, I had fun, but I felt like I was playing in a safe zone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so I believe the theme was the sets, like to pay homage to the sets of the movies.
Yeah, right.
Which when I saw that, I got nervous because I was like, oh man, I don't do backgrounds. But then I was like, even more so, I need to go hard. So,
great. That's the way to do it.
Let's do 4 backgrounds.
Background within a background within a background.
Right.
You're going to go all the way. Might as well.
Right. Just dump into the deep end.
So you mentioned you've been coming to these for a while. Like how many like so you've been coming to these? Have you been making posters for the show for a while too?
Yes. I man, how long has it been? 5 years, 6 years?
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's a long time.
probably more.
Like what would you say is your favorite thing about the Bigger Picture show? Get a pick.
Well, I am a major movie buff and
Nice. Same.
huge. Like I love movies. I'm so serious about movies. Like whenever we are at home and anybody's eating something that I deem too loud, you know what I mean? Or especially if it's a movie I've never seen before and people want to talk.
Oh sure.
I'm doing pretty much anything but kicking them out of my house. Like you gotta respect this. Like don't disrespect the cinema. Like
Oh, I'm with you.
huge deal. Like I will go and I'll watch a movie, and even if I've already seen it a bunch of times in a movie theater, I go and buy that movie right after it comes out, watch it again, and then watch all the
Oh yeah.
all the behind the scenes. I'm okay with all of that. So huge movie buff. And I would have done these posters for free, honestly, with no reward. But the reward for doing the poster is going to see more movies at the Indie Film Fest, of course. Like I'm for all of that.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
Dude,
And I was like, I get to make a really cool poster and then also get access to the film fest.
Dude, yeah, it's a win-win.
Sign me up. Oh yeah.
It's a win-win, yeah. Like you said, what's my favorite part? The whole thing is my favorite part. I'm a big fan of the whole situation. So
Awesome. We're happy to hear it. Well, thank you, Byron, for joining us and talking with us here. That was really great. Really good talking to you.
Oh man, absolutely my pleasure. If I made it obvious already.
Yeah, and thank you everyone watching. Thank you all for joining us today. And I would like to remind you, make sure to definitely come by, check out the Bigger Picture Roadshow this year. It's at Circle City Industrial Complex, and it's on October 29th. So mark that in your calendars. Make sure to show up and see this poster and so many other awesome pieces of art, all to promote Indie Film Fest. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.